All right, in today's session, we're going to use the phrases, by the way, while I remember, and another thing is, and before I forget. Each time you use one of these phrases, I want you to put a check mark on the right side of the phrase. Each time I use the phrase, I will put a check mark on the left. So,
Okay.
now, while I remember, we will also have a game today.
Yes.
We're talking about anything. We're talking about anything that comes to your
Yesterday, before I forget, I remember we spoke about the habitats of different animals.
Be sure to put your check mark.
Yes, but I didn't have the hand.
Oh, I didn't give you the pencil. One moment. There you are.
Okay.
And another thing is, not only did we talk about the habitats, we created a dialogue and we spoke about, by the way, I want to tell you that we spoke about the Amazon Go store.
Yes. We spoke about the Amazon store, not yesterday, but before yesterday. And it was completely different than Savannah. And another thing is the subject was about selling online with the help of your smartphone. It's completely different than Savannah.
That's right. That was a great article. But before I forget, I want to ask, do you remember about the toilet paper? Do you remember the one about the toilet paper? The smartphone toilet paper?
Yes, at the beginning of the week, we spoke about toilet papers, particularly in Japan, because Japan created a new concept of toilet papers in which they include a special toilet paper for cleaning the smartphone. In their opinion, what I remember, they say that a lot of germs are included in the smartphone, and if you use the smartphone without cleaning it, perhaps you could put the germs to another person, and it wasn't good for the health of the people.
Very good. While I'm remembering, you want to say things correctly, is that you can pass germs on to another person. Okay. All right. That's nicely done, Bernard. Let's look at our words here, the habitat. And as you talk about the habitat now, please put a check mark beside the words as you use them. Like you might tell me a little story. In a savanna, you might find various animals such as an alligator. And in a rainforest, they have lots of trees that are pretty in color. However, in a temperate forest, you might find whatever you think. All right, you may begin.
Okay. I live in a country where we have a temperate forest in which you can find whiteboard, mainly whiteboard. Sometimes some walrus were protected by the Convention of Geneva, and sometimes rabbits, but only in Pyrenean mountain we can find birds. The birds are reintroduced in the Pyrenean mountain 10 or 20 years ago, and the shepherd are very angry about that because bear, like walrus, has a dangerous species for the sheep.
Okay, now are you saying wolves and shepherd? The wolves are a danger to the sheep, which makes the shepherds angry. The shepherd is what you're not pronouncing correctly. The shepherd is a person.
The shepherd is a person, yes.
Yes. And where would you find this shepherd? Would a shepherd be in a desert or a lake, on a reef, in the temperate forest, rainforest, or a savanna? Where would a shepherd and wolves most likely be?
We can find a shepherd in all the countries of the world, in the temperate forests, because in my country, but we can also find shepherd in a desert where they can ride the camels. We can also find shepherd, I don't know, in the rainforest, perhaps, I don't know. But particularly, shepherd could be found in the desert and a temperate forest.
So what do you know about a savanna? Before I forget, what do you know about a savanna?
Before I forget, a savanna is a big place with bushes in it, normally in a dry country. And in this dry country, we can find in the bushes and the wall land, we can find lions, we can find giraffes, we can find cheetah.
Okay.
And
All right.
if there's a lake near the savanna, we can also find crocodiles.
And then finally, what about this reef?
By the way, while I remember, I went to the reef, the Great Reef Barrier in Australia last month, and I was amazed by the amount of fish of different colors I could see under the water. It was marvelous.
Okay, fantastic. Now we're going to try a brief game of my made-up Scrabble. In order to play Scrabble, you will have a pencil. Let's see, our text needs to be relatively small. Let's see if we can get it smaller than 12. 12. And I'm going to demonstrate first how we're going to do this. So our text is going to start like, hopefully I'm going to put in T, A, B, L, E. Table. You can go with T across if you want, or if you can think of a word that's ER, you only get 1 point. We're only going to get 1 point. All right, it's your turn.
Table.
Or you can use any of these letters here. Any letter.
Okay. For example, I copy on you. Made.
Okay, good. Made. And I'm going to go, I can't put one here because their word is already there, so I can't. I'm going to do ZIP. I'm going to try to put one. ZIP. Zip.
Zip, yes. When you want to
Yes.
close your...
Yes,
Okay.
like zip.
Zip. Um, okay, another, but not sure. Rod?
No, no, no.
No,
Because
no, there's a O E.
well, you've
There's
got
a
the
E.
E there. You've got the E there, though. You see the E?
Yes.
So it has to be
ER.
ER. It has,
ER. An era.
yeah, but then you've got the D. You've got a D here.
Yes.
So they can't connect. It has to have a blank space. So no, that won't be good. You can't use that one.
Good.
You can go down. You can come down with MAD, M-A-D.
Yes, the same.
Yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to go with E-N-T-E-R.
Enter.
Oh,
Yes.
no, I can't. That's not right because the D. I can't do that one.
Okay.
Z. Okay, I've got one. No. How about this one? No. No.
Really difficult, eh?
Yeah, it's a little difficult, but you get the idea. So it's kind of cute that you and your wife are doing this. That's great because it does get your mind and your brain thinking, what words can I use? Let's do two more and then we'll stop for today.
Okay. This one.
You could do one here with the B.
That, it seems it exists. I don't remember
No,
what the meaning, but D-N, D-E-N.
Dan. Dan. Good. Dan is one.
I don't remember the meaning of Dan.
It's where a bear sleeps at night in the winter. A bear goes to the den and sleeps. A den.
Okay.
Or you could have a den. You could have a den in your home. Like this room was my den before I made my classroom.
For example, you can hide in your den.
Yes, you can hide in your den.
Okay.
I'm going to choose D-E-N-N-O. I'm going to go with one here. Okay, I think you're moving your mouse.
Okay, red. This one.
Yeah, good for you. I found one. I'm going to go with one, E. Okay. All right. I'm going to stop the recording. And let's see. We did, that was fun. That was different.